Arizona Cardinal football is back, kind of. It's preseason game one. Cardinals hosting Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Brittan Golden in the house. Johnny Venerable. Pregame starts now. Hey, welcome in. Live from Studio A here, PHNX Cardinals Live, a pregame show. Johnny Venerable, the playmaker, former Arizona Cardinal wide receiver Brittan Gold, makes his triumphant return to the beat. Hell yeah, Noah Man behind the mic, of course, and Brack going to join us in just a couple minutes from State Farm Stadium. We are fired up here. Cardinal football is officially back. Cardinals going to play their starters, BG, Kyler Murray and company, against Kansas City. We're fired up.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's going to be good to see the starters go out. I kind of like, there's a lot of teams that we're talking off air a little bit ago. A lot of teams are starting to put the starters in week one, right? You lost the preseason game for, I guess, the last couple of years now. So I think it's better to get them going early, let them get all the reps, and you can let the guys, the younger guys, the guys trying to make the team go in that last game. But it'll be exciting. You got starters on both sides going, both starting quarterbacks rolling today. I think it'll be a good day.
Great litmus test for this franchise. Andy Reid and company, they've been playing their starters throughout his tenure. Cardinals are like, we're going to change things up. Like, fair or not, Jonathan Gannon knows, hey, we've started slow the last 2 years. Now, 2023, that team, that roster, it's expansion level worthy, as we've called it on this show. So, you know, how much can you take away from the 2023 preseason? But last year, you know, they were concerned. I know this. We know this about losing depth that they didn't have by playing guys meaningful snaps in the preseason. This year, you heard from Jonathan Gannon earlier this week. It's like, we've had a healthy training camp. We've had depth. And Brittan, like, we look back at last year, they didn't play guys in the preseason, and they still lost Ojulari and Darius Robinson in training camp. It's like, so you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like, listen, training camp is grueling, right? And it's not as long as it has been in the past, but right, guys are going to get banged up. Guys are going to get hurt. This is the game of football. It happens, right? So it's kind of that instance where it could happen in practice. It could happen in a game. I think getting these guys live reps early before you get to week one, I think is key, all right? We saw it kind of last year. We kind of started slow with the receivers and the quarterbacks and stuff early. They didn't really have a lot of reps. So hopefully we get some reps today, get some reps next week. And then as we push to week one, it's kind of fluid.
Yeah, I mean, if you want the best from this team and specifically Kyler Murray, it's like, let's get some momentum now. Let's not ease into the season. I know there are a lot of people out there that are like, well, they open up with New Orleans. They open up with Carolina. I mean, they lost Carolina last year. I don't think at the end of the day, this team in a must-win season for a lot of people involved, you can afford to just kind of ease into it, right? I think you got to look at this as, yes, let's see how far we've come as a franchise with this roster, with this coaching staff, but also let's get this tuned up, because they had a very physical training camp, PG. It was the most physical training camp, certainly, that we've seen under Gannon. But I would date back to, I mean, those Bruce Arians training camps were rigorous, right? A lot of guys played in the preseason. And then they kind of took a break, right? Steve Wilkes, Cliff Kingsbury famously had the country club training camp. So the Cardinals are like, nope, we're going to do things differently this year in an effort to be ready to go. Like, I expect a physical Cardinal team tonight.
Oh, defensively, for sure. I expect the guys on defense come out and fly around, right? In practice, you get to kind of thud a little bit, but you don't get to really, like, play the game of football defensively in training camp against your own guys, right? Yeah. Now you get to go against another team. You get to go against guys that you don't have to see every day. Now it's full tackle to the ground. You can be aggressive, go after the quarterback. I know these D linemen got to be itching.
Yeah.
All right, Calais has been doing this for a very long time, right? And he loves getting to the quarterback. So it's kind of one of those where he's finally has an opportunity to go after the quarterback. You don't have to run by him and just kind of yell like, I could have got you. Now you get to go out and have some fun.
We typically do the pre-flight portion of our pregame show. No inactives, right? But here's what I'll say, like, Justin Jones, is he going to play? No Bilal Nichols, no B.J. Ojulari. Like, it brings an opportunity. We're going to talk about this for some of these young defensive linemen, edge rushers to come in and prove themselves, get an opportunity to come in and earn meaningful snaps, because these are preseason games. The Cardinals are telling you they matter now. So it matters if you're available or not. It matters if you're a fringe roster guy, if you're in the case of Justin Jones making good amount of money and you're not available yet again, just like 2024, you're not going to get the benefit of the doubt. Like Brittan, talk about, historically, guys that have underperformed, whether it's free agents or draft picks, then being hurt in the preseason, not doing themselves any favors.
Well, you got the classic line, right? You can't make the club in the tub, right? So it's kind of one of those where, if it's a minor injury that you can get through and you can work through it, it's not something that can hold you back, right? If you're on the bubble, you got to find a way to get in that game. Like you really can't sit back and just take it for granted, because I've seen guys that got drafted in the 4th and 5th round get cut.
Yeah.
You got guys that got a $100,000 signing bonus, right? Which is it's chump change to some of these guys that are making real money. But for somebody to go out there and give you $100,000 to $200,000 signing bonus, and then when it comes down, you got cut because one, you didn't perform, one, you weren't on the field when you needed to be. So these are the guys that are on the fringe, right? I was that guy every year, so I understand it, right? So it's like when you're on the fringe, every possible chance that you get to go out there and make a play, right? You either get exposure or you get exposed. That's what BA used to tell us right there. That was like the famous line, right? You either get exposure out there, you make plays when your opportunity comes, or you get exposed. You're not ready to play, and you're just not ready for that opportunity.
My co-host here, famous punt return touchdown or kick return touchdown for the Giants in the preseason.
Oh, punt return. Yeah.
Punt return against the Bengals, right?
Yeah.
Cincinnati Bengals. No Bengals tonight. Let's talk a little Birdgang Blitz, kicking things off with one Kyler Murray, K1. And again, franchise quarterback coming out in a pivotal year where playoffs are an expectation, double-digit wins an expectation. And again, the last time Kyler Murray and company played Patrick Mahomes, albeit in the opener, right? It was a real regular season game. The team was embarrassed. It was the last regular season opener for Cliff Kingsbury. We all remember Isaiah Simmons getting cooked by Travis Kelce in that game. You were with us, Brittan. It was an embarrassment. I know this is a preseason game, but Kyler Murray, it's imperative. We know Mahomes and company, they bring it in the preseason. Joe Burrow's out here throwing touchdowns to Jamar Chase on the opening drive. Can Kyler Murray find explosives within this offense? We're gonna talk about Marv here in a second, so I want to table Marv. But for Kyler Murray in particular, BG, how important is it for this offense to look upbeat, explosives, not dejected, not 3 and out? Because again, I'm going to tell you right now, if this offense picks up where they left off the end of last year, which is complacency, can't push the ball downfield, I don't care if it's a preseason game. Guess what we're going to be talking about until next week against Denver?
No, I agree. This is one of those years, right? You've got Kyler Murray. It's not necessarily a contract year, but to me, I think this is a do or die year for him. And I think he has to come out early. He has to come out strong. He has to come out throwing the ball, commanding the offense, moving that ball down the field. He's got to be the Kyler Murray we know he can be, that we've seen the flashes of. It needs to be consistent. Right, if he can come out here and prove that and show that and win early, I think you're in for a good year. But if it comes out and it's, play calling isn't matching the play, or the players aren't making the play calls, like it's going to go hand in hand, right? We're going to be talking like we talked for most of the year last year about who's the problem, who do we need to get rid of?
Right. There's a trajectory here. Kyler Murray, Drew Petzing, Marvin Harrison Jr., Trey McBride, like it can't look like befuddling.
You have the playmakers, the problem. Like the playmakers are on the field. We know Kyler Murray is athletic. He's got weapons on offense. I mean, you have arguably the best tight end in the game of football. Yeah. Right? And you have receivers that can go along with it. You have running backs that can go along with it. Your quarterback is athletic. You've got everything you need. You just need to be able to put it on tape.
I'll tell you what I need, a live hit for my guy, Bo Brack at State Farm Stadium. We're working to get him live here momentarily. Do we have him now, or we're working on it? Let's bring him on. Here's Bo Brack here from State Farm Stadium out in Glendale. We're chopping it up with our guy, BG. BG, by the way, he's as jacked as ever. I'm going to have to do some curls in between our shows. But, Bo, in all seriousness, Kyler Murray, the expectation for you tonight in a game, albeit in the preseason, against Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah, we're looking for efficiency tonight, right? I mean, as we've seen kind of across the league, we've seen some guys have some early success. You want that game for an efficient, business-like first, maybe second drive.
A little bit of an internet issue we're working on with our guy Bo Brack here, but here's what I'll echo, and then we can talk a little Marvin Harrison Jr. Is that I think Kyler Murray had a really solid to good training camp, right? I think that certainly feels like he's got a better grasp with this Drew Petzing offense. This is his third year in the system, Brittan. Last year was his first full offseason, healthy. So, again, the Cardinals opted to roll this offense back. We're going to talk about all the defensive adjustments, all the changes, this revamped defensive line. But it's like you're going to look at this offense. It's the same unit as last year. It's the same personnel. That's telling you from the GM and the head coach and the owner, we got to make it work with the guys we have here.
Oh, I agree. It's also telling you that they think that they have the right guys in place. We think that we have the guys, the playmakers that can help us win football games, right? It was a little shaky at times. We saw flashes last year. We saw flashes of really good football on the offensive side of the ball, but then it kind of looked like we would go to the week 2 or the next week and it would just be completely horrendous.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like Bo said, I think efficiency and consistency are the two biggest things that this offense needs to come out and look in these first couple drives this game.
Yeah, big part of that. Hammer that like button is going to be Marvin Harrison Jr., year 2 Marv. We're going to ask everybody tonight, is it going to be as advertised? Can it live up to the hype as we continue on here with the Birdgang Blitz? We're talking Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, people scoff at this. He was the MVP of training camp. He was the best player in Glendale. Offense, defense, special teams, what have you. So we open up the conversation, Bo Brock. Yeah, Marvin Harrison Jr. Will new look Marv live up to the hype? I'll pose it to my co-host. We talk about this on a daily basis. Is tonight the night where Marv gets to reintroduce himself to the national stage and the NFL fan base?
I mean, everybody wants to see it, right? Everybody who paid for a ticket here for the exhibition game, they want to see Marvin Harrison Jr. produce. You know, I think back to Brittan's days under BA when the starters would get in there and would have a very efficient, like business-like approach. They get in there, get out. Carson Palmer would go like 4 for 5 with a touchdown, and then his night would be done. I think that's what you want to see, you know, from the first team here, including Marvin Harrison Jr. I mean, give him a splash play. Give him the popcorn play. Everybody wants to see that. We saw it in training camp so consistently. Let's see it here tonight.
What's the pressure like for Marv? First receiver taken last year, all the fanfare. And then, Brittan, you know this, like guys like Brian Thomas Jr., guys like Malik Neighbors, hell, guys like Ladd McConkey, better statistical seasons. So people are just basically saying, like, well, Marv can't play. He's not better than those guys. What have you seen from the physical transformation this offseason that you, by the way, have seen firsthand?
Yeah, I don't think there's like a lot of pressure for Marv, right? It's one of those things where you know you're the guy. You are the number 1 receiver coming out. You have to perform. We know you have to perform. It's not that you performed bad last season. It just wasn't consistent. And a lot of that had to do with play calling and not getting him into situations that can help him.
Yeah.
Right. And, you know, just play with the play calling, right? Crossing routes, easy stuff, getting him moving, getting the ball in his hands. We didn't do a lot of that last year. But as far as the physical side, like you said, he was in the gym my guy's on right down here. He uses the boxing coach out of there. Just kind of seeing it, right? Hands, right? The cardio, the movement, like you saw the weight gain, right? And it was good weight, right? He didn't just get fat, right? It's good weight, good muscle gain, right? I mean, I'm looking to see a revamped Marv. Like, this is the guy. He's been through it. He's seen it. He knows what he has to do to be a pro. I think this is the season that he steps up and he gets back into the talk with the Malik Neighbors and the Brian, you know, all those guys. I think he gets back into that.
Yeah, Bo and I had a chance to connect with Albert Breer earlier this week. It was at Cards Camp, and he made a point. I'm anxious to hear your opinion on it. The bigger receiver, sometimes there's a bigger adjustment at the NFL level, right? Because you're a little bit more lengthy. You have an opportunity to fill out a little bit more. It's going to take a little bit more time. Like you look at Jamar Chase, very compact. Malik Neighbors, compact. They're almost like running backs with the ball in their hands. Like, is there any validity to that? Because you look at somebody like Larry Fitzgerald, 6'3.5", came into this league, albeit at a different time, about 900 yards, very comparable year 1 to Marv.
Yeah, I mean, the big receiver to the small receiver, it's 2 different types of play, right? It's just a different type. I think we get so used to seeing the guys like the Jamar Chase and the guys like Tyreek Hills, right? The small, fast, quick, and you kind of want to make comparisons to a Marv, like, or to a DK Metcalf. And it's 2 different types. Now, DK Metcalf, albeit, is just a freak, right?
Yeah.
He
was jacked
standing
in college.
6'4" and 230 and running a 4.3 is just kind of crazy. But, you know, when it gets to that, it's just a different type. It's a different game, right? The bigger receiver he's got different releases. He runs routes differently. As a defender, you're playing him differently.
Yeah.
Right. If I'm playing a small, fast guy, right? Do I play it, line up and press coverage? If I do it, I better not miss because I ain't catching him.
Yeah.
With a big guy, you got a bigger surface area. You can play press. There's more surface area, you know, to get hands on. So I think it's just one of those where it could be an adjustment period. Also, it's an adjustment from coming from college football. You were a giant in college football,
Yeah.
And you were the guy and everybody knew it. You knew the ball was coming your way every
Yeah.
single time. It's an adjustment for, all levels, right? Coming from college to the pros, there's an adjustment for everybody.
It'd be an adjustment on the opposite side of the ball. Will Johnson, Bo, we've talked about it at nauseum. Rarely do we get this fired up about a rookie based on a second-round draft pick, right? Usually it's, hey, Marv, it's Paris, it's Darius. This kid, not your standard second-round pick as we continue here on the Birdgang Blitz. 47th overall is rookie Will Johnson, ready for primetime, Bo. He's going to be out there with the starters. What say you?
Yeah, you hope he gets the opportunity. Hopefully Mahomes and crew maybe test him a bit and you get to kind of see him in action, but you can never, control that. I mean, when BG was playing with Patrick Peterson, there'd be like weeks where the guy barely saw any balls go his way. Will Johnson get tested right away? I mean, first pro game, you would think they would want to take care of the advantage of the guy who's green and then see if Will Johnson does exactly what he did in the red and white scrimmage where he stepped up and picked off a pass from K1 that was intended for Zay Jones. So, yeah, I'm hoping he gets some chances to kind of show that he was the steal of the draft here tonight.
I think in comparison, there's comparisons to Patrick Surtain. There's comparisons to Patrick Peterson in terms of being that next great Cardinal cornerback. Like I with all due respect to Byron Murphy, he did not look like this with the Arizona Cardinals in 2019. I mean, this is the kid that should have been the top corner in the draft. He fell because of knee concerns long term. I mean, how could this change the dynamic of the Cardinals defense, in your opinion?
I mean, ultimately, if you can get a corner that was on the level that Patrick Peterson was playing on when he was here as a Cardinal, especially my time here, he was arguably the best man cover corner in the game. Right? He played the game differently. Like, Pat was not your normal corner. He didn't line up in press coverage and stare at the receiver. He did the most unorthodox thing where he's looking in at the ball. He's watching the ball. He's watching the quarterback. And in the back of your head, you're kind of like, how is he in position to even cover me in this situation? But he just had a different like type of, it was just an attitude. It was just how he carried himself. And he played the game. He knew he was smart. He was a very smart and patient corner, and it made Pat such a great man cover corner. So I think if you can get Will on this level and you can actually get some type of fire that just kind of lights and gets you any type of, reciprocation to Patrick Peterson, you got a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, it feels like you're playing with house money with a young kid that had no business falling to the second round. Cardinals poised to reap the benefits. We've been consistent, Bo, with our messaging. If he's healthy, he's going to be a superstar player for this team. It just looks different. And speaking of looking different, how about that revamped defensive line as we conclude here? Birdgang Blitz, will it be disruptive with Patrick Mahomes and company, Bo? What do you think the first team defensive line looks like? How do you think things will rotate over the course of the first quarter or two? Walk us through at home. Like, okay, is Calais, Dalvin Tomlinson, Sweaty J, is that what's going to be rolled out with the ones?
Yeah, we're hoping so. Obviously, it's a little bit different. You don't have any true kind of inactives preseason or anything like that. But, for the most part, what we've seen recently in camp has been a heavy dose of Dalvin Tomlinson, Calais Campbell, and Darius Robinson. So you're going to hope that those guys will be as disruptive and suffocating as we've seen them against the first, second, and third team. So as far as Patrick Mahomes and the first team offense for the Kansas City Chiefs, you hope it looks like kind of similar to what he faced in their last game they played against Philadelphia. Now, I know that's maybe a little hyperbolic there, but I think you want to see some real noise made by these guys and Mahomes kind of feeling the heat right from the jump.
Yeah, this defensive line has been the talk of training camp. The Cardinals had told reporters this week, like, we feel like it could be the strength of the team by the end of the year. No Walter Nolan right now, but Darius Robinson getting a chance to reintroduce himself to Cardinal fans. Dominant training camp. Guys like, again, Zaven Collins, who is poised, I think, to have his best year, look fantastic in practice this week. The Cardinals, they may not have a Chris Jones, right? We'll see Chris Jones likely tonight. But man, oh man, they go about 8 to 10 guys deep on that defensive line, where in years prior, it just was not an NFL unit. It was a unit, frankly, that the Cardinals were unable to rebuild because they were drawing their attention everywhere else. They were going and getting Marvin Harrison Jr. and Paris Johnson. So Monty Austin for it. You opened up the checkbook and the draft resources and got it done. I'm fired up to watch that unit tonight. I'm fired up with our friends at Bet365. It's the return of Tap That App. Now, we don't have a bunch of robust props. We weren't going to get super gross, but we are betting on preseason football. Here's what we've got. Arizona Cardinals hosting the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's see it, Noah, man. We've got Johnny's bet of the week on pregame picks here. Arizona Cardinals money line, the time of kickoff, plus 124. Under. I'm going under like a sicko, 40.5 points, because I think both these defenses are great. Minus 115. You're still making plus 310. BG, what do you think about betting preseason with your boy?
I think betting preseason is diabolically outrageous.
Yeah, I love it.
It's definitely degenerate gambler.
You love it. I love it. We're fired up here. Plus 310, Bo Brock. I do feel like points could be at a premium tonight. Like you're not at a premium. You're going to have a difficult time against Steve Spagnuolo, and I think Nick Rawls is going to have a nice showing. You like my picks this week, Bo?
I love them. It's a good day to go 2-0. And look, you can't bet the entire season if you don't start in the preseason. So,
That's right.
Yeah, let's start here. This is step one.
Let's start here. Everybody dropping a like, subscribing to PHNX Sports here on YouTube as we conclude a pregame show just 2.5 minutes out from kickoff. We'll go around the room. Bo, I'll start with you. Predictions for tonight. What do you think we're going to see from the Arizona Cardinals, and how important is it for Jonathan Gannon's team to get some momentum entering, the regular season?
You just want to see some work done here by the first team. And people were excited when they heard that they're going to play in this game earlier this week. And I think that if you get an efficient afternoon from Kyler Murray, you get a splash play from either Marv or Zay Jones or Trey McBride or, Michael Wilson potentially. I mean, that would have people walking away saying, hey, I got to witness a little bit of a start of what we feel can be special and why the Cardinals decided to double down on this unit. And then that defensive side, like we talked about, the defensive front seven, Will Johnson, you want to see that and just see everything just work as a cohesive unit here early on. I mean, nothing, and if it's a little rocky start, we're not going to hit that panic button, but we'll certainly talk about it post-game.
BG, Cardinals, very respectable, 6-3 at home last year. We assume there's going to be a decent amount of Chiefs fans here tonight. The importance of kind of retaking this home atmosphere where Cardinal fans can come to State Farm Stadium and be fired up about the product.
Oh, I agree. It's not so much of walking out of here with a win tonight as it is seeing your first unit offensively, defensively, special teams wise, just like Bo said, efficiency. I think efficiency is key today. Have just a good feeling when those guys come out of the game knowing when they were in, the ball was moved, the ball was stopped, special teams did their job, and give you a little bit more hope and just go, progress each week till we get to week one.
Yeah, we're keeping things real here. Bo Brock, we appreciate you, my guy, live from State Farm Stadium. He's going to be back on the post-game show. We'll be back before that. We got our typical halftime show. So again, if you're new here, even if you're not, drop a like, ring that bell for notifications, and of course, subscribe to PHNX Sports here on YouTube. You've made it. The offseason is in the books. Preseason action starts now. We'll see you at halftime.
We all silly like the mayor.